Thank you, Mr Deputy President. Is it on? Yes, sir, it's on. Firstly, I will say from the outset that the government does not support this motion. Yet again, the motion is an example of Labor's simplistic and misleading approach to issues of manufacturing in this state. And I will go into detail in a minute about the tender, and other speakers will follow that up with more detail. And I hope the members opposite listen to what's said, because all this motion is about is tabloid appeal, and it should be condemned for your tabloid approach to manufacturing in this state. Now, the New South Wales government is continuing and continues to deliver to the people of this state with a contract for $2.3 billion worth of next generation intercity fleet, which was announced last week by the Honourable Andrew Constance, the Minister for Transport in the other House. What a great minister he is.
Great minister.
The contract includes the building and maintenance of more than 500 brand new carriages. The new double-deck trains will begin rolling onto our railways from 2019, transforming intercity travel for customers in Newcastle, the Central Coast, the South Coast and the Blue Mountains. The new fleet not only allows us to improve the customer experience for regional travellers and commuters, but also for Sydney customers. Sydney customers with the existing Oscar fleet being reallocated to the Sydney suburban services. Now, customers have been consulted to help identify key features, including safety, reliability and comfortable sitting that they would like to see in the trains. And I know that was made fun of, that was made mirth of by the previous speaker, by the mover of the motion. The fact is that these are what customers have asked for, and they have been ridiculed by the mover of this motion, by the Labor Party. The new trains will deliver increased comfort and will have features never before seen in our long-distance services. But perhaps those opposite want to bring back the Red Rattlers. New features on the intercity fleet will include, and they were made overseas, don't forget. New features on the new...
Order. A point of order has been taken.
By who?
By me.
Sorry.
Minister.
The honourable member, Sophie Cox, the honourable member, Courtney Eustace, Miss Sophie, had the opportunity to give her speech in silence. I would ask that she affords the same courtesy to the honourable Shayne Mallard. Interjections are disorderly at all times.
To the point of order.
Really?
To the point of order.
Deputy President, the Speaker knows that in his contribution he ought not invite objections by addressing his market record to other members of the House.
Well, let me observe, actually, that's a new point of order, I think.
To the point of order.
Well, I don't think it's a point of order, I think it's a new point of order. But I was going to make the observation, firstly, yes, the member is entitled to be heard in silence, and he should address me in his remarks rather than addressing the other side of the chamber, because he actually invites the response that he has got. So, so I think it's 1-1. You may proceed.
Thank you, Mr Deputy President. The customers have been consulted, and all I was pointing out was in the mover's speech that there seemed to be some ridicule about the consultation process, because they told us that they wanted charging stations for mobile phones on each seat. They wanted two-way, 2x2 sitting on upper and lower levels, not the 3 and 2 that current trains have. They wanted wider, fabric-covered seats with armrests and more space. They wanted cup holders and tray tables. Heaven forbid we provide what they ask for. And they wanted dedicated space for luggage, prams, I'm sure the member appreciates that, and wheelchairs and bicycles, which I certainly appreciate. And they wanted accessible toilets, and they wanted digital screens for announcements in the trains. The new intercity fleet features new and better onboard technology that improves safety, such as CCTV cameras, customer help points, auto-selective doors, door operations, robust structure, fire detection technology, fire-resistant materials, fault diagnosis and access to real-time information. And as a rail commuter in this House, and one who's caught intercity trains when I lived out Emu Plains in the Lower Blue Mountains or Penrith, I appreciate those comfort features that they're talking about offering, because in my day you had smoking carriages and plastic seats, so there's a big change in the technology in these trains. And as a new homeowner in Katoomba, I'm looking forward to catching the new trains when they come online. Now we have already already completed the complete refurbishment of the VSEC carriages to ensure that in the interim period ahead of the delivery of the new fleet, our customers will continue to experience high levels of comfort. The contract was awarded this month to Rail Connect and is a joint venture between Hyundai Rotem Company, Mitsubishi Electric Australia and UGL Rail. We have worked with Australian and overseas train manufacturers to identify the most suitable train design. And the Honourable Scott Farlow will touch on that in his speech. This government was committed to value for money for the New South Wales taxpayers. And Mr Deputy President, I'll say it to you again, this government is committed to value for money for the New South Wales taxpayers. Designing, building and fitting out the new Intercity fleet overseas represents a saving of around 25% for New South Wales taxpayers and will deliver the new trains much quicker than expected, much quicker. By choosing an existing design, Mr Deputy President, with proven technology, we have ensured the best value for money, best possible service, and we will have these trains on track faster, no doubt at all. The tender for the new Intercity fleet was completely a level playing field for both Australian and international competitors. The unfortunate reality is that the Australian bids were just not competitive. Working together, Hyundai Rotem Company and Mitsubishi Electric have delivered over 4,000 rail cars, 4,000 from New Zealand to New York, whilst Mitsubishi Electric Australia and UGL Rail have worked together for decades and delivered either trains or train systems to New South Wales projects for over 40 years already. Now Labor and their union mates are trying to turn the clock back 50 years and revert back to protectionism. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Sounds familiar. Protectionism.
Trumpism.
Trumpism. Labor has no credibility when it comes to train procurement. Do we still remember? The Millennium Trains?
Yeah.
The Honourable Member might like to hear what I've got to say, because there's some lessons here, history lessons that happened before she was in the Parliament. Do you remember the Millennium Trains?
Yeah.
The ones that were intended to be introduced in time for the Sydney Olympics. Well, they weren't in service until 2002. Remember, the Olympics were in 2000, no, before the Olympics, 2002. The costs blew out by more than $100 million in those times.
Shayne, Labor, Shayne.
And then by mid-2013, Michael Costa had to pull them from the train tracks due to mechanical problems, and they were scrapped. Then there were the Waratah trains.
Order. I warn members, if they continue to interject, they will be put on a call.
Then there were the Waratah trains, first announced in 2006 by Minister John Watkins, and he promised that they would be on the tracks in 2008. Then he pushed it back to 2009, then to 2010. This is a history lesson for the Honourable Member. The delivery didn't commence until July 2011. Now, guess who came into office in 2011? The Farrell government. So we came into office and these trains were just being delivered, and we inherited a lemon fleet of trains. They were lemons. The incoming coalition government had to provide a $175 million bailout for the Waratah lemons. But guess where those trains were built, Mr Deputy President? Guess where they were built? Guess where Labor procured those trains from? China. China. They came from China. Chengchong, China. Labor got these trains from China. Hypocrisy from the Labor side. Total hypocrisy from Labor. They were the ones who signed off the Waratah trains being built overseas in China.
It's hilarious.
We are proud of our record of investment in public transport, our record investment as a government in public transport in this state. Heavy rail, new rail carriages, metro rail, light rail, buses, record investment in public transport in this state. We're proud of it. Labor should be proud of it too. I call on them to not support their motion, support us.